Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
We begin with breaking news. Fargo police are currently surrounding a home in South Fargo after an apparent armed robbery. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us live now from the scene with more. Bailey?
Yeah, Andrea, the Red River SWAT team just showed up here on scene. Again, we're on the 900 block of University Drive South. You can see just over my shoulder here quite a large number of Fargo police officers. They're surrounding that white and green house. That's where they say that the suspect has been barricading himself inside that house for about 2 or 3 hours now. They've been communicating with that suspect for a while now via megaphone. We've heard them tell the suspect that they are under arrest and that they are to surrender to officers and put their hands up. But of course, as of right now, that suspect is not cooperating with officers. Fargo police say that they were called just a few blocks over for an armed robbery of just after 1:30 this afternoon. They say that the people involved did know each other, but as for if the suspect is male or female or what kind of weapon was used, that's still unknown. We'll continue to keep you updated. For now, reporting live in South Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, Bailey, thanks for that live report. Now on to more breaking news out of the Northern Valley. As Grand Forks police say, officers are actively searching for a man who ran from them. Right now, police are searching for him in the area east of Gateway Drive and North Columbia Road. We have a crew headed to the scene right now, and we'll have more updates on this story. After the downpour this afternoon, we're wondering if the rain has moved out. Here's Hutch with your first alert forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. Rain and funnel clouds once again. This captured from our Valley Skycam here in South Fargo. As we look to the north, this was over about the Harwood area at 11:30 this morning. And you shared photos as well. Take a look at this from the area here as we had the storms, had the low and dark clouds over the area. Justin captured this as viewed from South Fargo. Look how close that appeared to be to the ground. All confirmed or all reports that we have say nothing did touch. Near Riley's Acres, Thomas captured the same funnel. Now, things are really quieting down. That's the good news. But if you're in Fargo, if you are in Hillsboro and up near Grand Forks, we have spotty showers right here in the Red River Valley, hit and miss. Temperatures are in the 60s east and 70s to the west. And it looks like as we go through the evening, our thunderstorm chances will be waning at and beyond sunset tonight. Temperatures in the 60s both here and in Grand Forks, and you better enjoy the cool because the heat is returning. I'll have hour-by-hour details on all of that in a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. A Grand Forks County deputy involved in a shootout that killed 2 people, including a fellow officer, is back to work. Corporal Ron Nord reported to work at the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office on Monday. Nord was shot while serving eviction papers to 41-year-old Salama Pendleton on May 27th. According to court documents, Pendleton has been charged with several felonies. Investigators say he shot and killed his 61-year-old mother, Lola Moore, and 29-year-old Grand Forks police officer Cody Holty. Pendleton's bond has been set at $1 million. A 61-year-old man is now facing charges after allegedly entering a dead man's home and stealing items. Court documents say Russell Metzner went into the deceased man's home in Lincoln, then stole a lawnmower, batteries, and a bag full of prescription medication. Metzner is now charged with burglary. Authorities say he is related to the man who died, but didn't specify how. Minnesota lawmakers are now banning police from using neck restraints. Officials say this comes as part of a package for police accountability measures passed in response to the death of George Floyd and the protests that followed. The sweeping package also bans chokeholds and so-called warrior-style training for officers. Passage of the measure comes after nearly 2 months of negotiations that followed Floyd's death in May. As coronavirus cases surge in Florida, teachers there are taking legal action to stop in-person classes from starting next month. The state has now topped 360,000 total cases. Chris Martinez has the story from Los Angeles, where most schools are not opening this fall.
Florida is still planning to open schools next month, even though the number of new coronavirus cases topped 10,000 Monday for the 10th time in 11 days. The state's largest teachers union is now suing to keep schools closed. It says parents, students, and teachers are entitled to, quote, a lawful and safe reopening.
It is ludicrous to think that now when the fire is even hotter, when the buildings are really burning, that we would take our children out of these protective bubbles that we've created.
But the Trump administration believes schools can reopen safely if people follow social distancing guidelines.
The most important thing is what we do outside of schools before we reopen to lower the transmission rate. The government has a role, but I want people to understand we as individuals have a role too to do what we can, and that includes wearing face coverings.
Most schools here in California are not reopening this fall. Los Angeles County now has more than 2,000 people hospitalized with COVID-19. That's an all-time high. County officials trace the spike to the July 4th holiday weekend.
It will take approximately 2 to 3 weeks between when someone is first exposed until they test positive. As people spend time in their communities and socialize with people who aren't in their household, we will continue to see a higher positive rate.
New York and several other states in the Northeast are still showing signs of progress. The Statue of Liberty is now open to visitors for the first time since March. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
For the second straight day, Texas avoided passing the 10,000 daily case count. The state reported over 7,400 new COVID-19 cases on Monday. State health officials are confirming 82 new cases of COVID-19 in North Dakota, along with another death, a woman in her 90s from Cass County with underlying health conditions. The death toll now sits at 94. There are now 814 active cases of COVID-19. 46 patients are currently hospitalized. Over 4,300 are listed as recovered. In Minnesota, the state health department is reporting 352 new COVID-19 cases in the state. The active case count is currently 4,398. 3 new deaths have been reported, bringing that total to 1,548. Over 41,000 people have recovered. Officials with the West Fargo School District say they plan to have final re-entry plans for parents by August 10th. The superintendent says a committee is meeting on the 23rd and 30th of this month to make some plans, and they will need an overview for parents by July 28th. On that day, parents will be able to go over it and give their feedback. We have more on those meetings on the VNL News app. On Thursday, the Moorhead School Board is set to vote on bids for a multi-million-dollar project approved last year by voters in a bond referendum. The meeting is scheduled for 7 in the morning. It's regarding the Moorhead Area Public Schools Career Academy. Last year, in April, the Moorhead School Board voted to purchase the old Sam's Club for $4.2 million. Thursday's meeting will focus on approving nearly $23 million in bids for the new Career Academy. Still ahead on Valley News Live at 5, demonstrators clash with officers as they move in to protect federal buildings around the country.
And in northeast North Dakota, we have a couple that appear to be pimple-sized thunder showers working their way around the Devil's Lake Basin. Our home of Economy Camera is keeping its eyes on the skies, and so are we. We'll have your hour-by-hour forecast coming up right after this.